there. Welcome to Hourglass Workshops and Conversations with Nancy and Cherryll. I'm Nancy Burns, and I'm an acupuncturist in San Jose, California.
And I'm Cherryll Seavey. I'm a writer and blogger in Los Gatos, California. Happy New Year. Happy
New Year. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And
happily, it's a new year.
yes.
Yay.
Yeah, new beginnings. And today we want to talk a little bit about kind of end of year, looking back on 2020 a bit and looking forward. And, everybody, I've read a lot about the good riddance to 2020. And although it was a real challenging year, I don't want to say good riddance to everything. Do you?
No, I don't either. I've heard lots of people talk about all the negative things, and all of them very valid. However, I think there's been some real positive things that came out of it. For me personally, I saved a lot of money by stopping and going out and enjoying being with my friends, at restaurants and bars. And so that financially, it's been better for me. Most people can't say that because a lot of people are really struggling financially. But sometimes, I think that these kind of struggles force you to move your life in a completely different direction. Yes. And maybe 10 years from now, looking back, you may say, that was phenomenal that happened at that time, because look at where I am now. And I think we have to kind of focus long term and not look at the day-to-day womp. What do you think?
Well, I think that it catapulted all of us globally into a totally different place of being. And, and it wasn't by choice, which makes us, tends to make us angry, confused, sad, disappointed, and lost. There was a lot of loss this year.
Which is going to continue in 2021. I mean, we're not going, just because we've come to a new year, it's one day later than it was yesterday. That's all it is.
Right.
And people, don't set yourself up for disappointment by thinking, oh, everything's going to be different. This is a new year. No, it's a continuation of what's been going on. And it's going to go on for quite a bit longer.
Yes.
And
but I think one thing is that, this year I look back and I'm far more creative in how I do connect with people than I was before. And I'm much more appreciative of the time that I do spend with people, whether it's by Zoom or on the phone, and being creative, with outside events. We've talked about those in the past year, but it has forced a level of creativity and a level of letting go that we wouldn't have chosen.
Yeah. Well, I'm all about the letting go. I've let go of a lot of things. Creativity for me, it hasn't done that for me yet. Maybe 2021, I become creative. It was really a year of truly letting go of lots and lots of stuff and people and obligations. And I feel like I've kind of cleared the decks for this year for what I want to create, And creativity is one of them. So.
Yeah. Well, and another thing about 2020 is that because we were catapulted into such change, kind of unwillingly and unwittingly, that we don't know the outcome of all of this. For example, the outcome of working from home. We've had to use technology in altogether different ways. And, you and I were not very good. Well, we didn't even do Zoom, a year ago. And now we're not bad at it. We still got some work, but we're amateurs. So gives us something to do for 2021.
We're better. We're better than we were.
That's correct. And I think that's an important thing to consider, is that we are better. We are all better in some ways than we were in 2020. I think families, the small children today, they benefited greatly, I think, from having two parents home. Now, the parents
I think so too.
Yeah, I don't think the parents may necessarily have benefited greatly, but in reality, I think by and large they have. And there's a lot of positives that have come about in those relationships.
Well, my son had a 6-month-old when everything shut down, and he's been working at home since. And he got to see all the firsts that he never would have seen.
Yes.
Because he had an hour commute each way, and he works long hours, and he would just see his little guy in the morning for maybe a half an hour. And he's been there to see him walk and talk and run and get his first tooth and get his first stitches and his first black eye and all the things that little ones do, you know. He's been there for it all. And then a couple of COVID scares and yeah. So, I mean, I think that that's something that he will never regret, that he had the opportunity to be there for that, you know?
Yeah, I agree. So I think for workers, you know, I mean, although it is difficult to juggle, but I think there's going to be a whole different look at the workplace and
oh my gosh, well, it's a new paradigm.
Yeah. So I think things are really shifting, and bosses have had to let go of a lot of control. The micromanager bosses, you know, have had to let go of control. And I think we've all been a little bit more self-initiating because we've had to be. So, you know, so those are some of the things I think to look back on 2020 and say, okay, how are we going to, you know, what are we going to do with those going forward? And
my advice for 2021 is sort for the positive. Don't buckle under to the pervasive feeling of woe is me and everything's so bad. I mean, there are challenges, no doubt about it. There's a lot of unhappiness out there. There's illness, there's loss, but try and sort for something positive in every situation. And I think by the end of 2021, you're going to be a lot happier if you do that.
Yeah. And I think also, you know, sort for the positive, but also just treat yourself with good, solid self-care.
Yes,
be gentle
absolutely.
With yourself. We aren't through with this yet. Be gentle with yourself and be kind to others. And so anyway, on that, we'll close until next time. Check us out on Hourglass Workshops for more information. I'm Cherryll.
And I'm Nancy.
Bye, and happy 2021.
Bye now.